Hello, 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 everyone. This is your host, Louise Hicks of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour, and I am back with a new episode. And this time I'm going to talk about Cherie Peoples. And I did share with you some time ago about Cherie Peoples, who is in Southern California, and she was locked up for the truancy uh, law that was implemented and established in California by then Attorney General Kamala Harris. And I had shared with you some time ago that I was going to share her story. So I am going to now go ahead and share her story and allow her to tell you, and then I'll just comment a little bit on the end of this very heartfelt story. So let's go ahead and share. And again, be sure to subscribe, share, share. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like. And here we go. We're going to share this story and let her tell her story. Here we go.
I intend to fight for Black Lives Matters. I intend to fight.
If Black Lives matter to her, why didn't I matter?
I don't agree what my Kamala Harris did to my mom, and I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
My message to all Americans, especially Black Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
I'm so proud of you right now, because you walked all the way down here and I wasn't expecting you to walk.
My daughter, Shayla, suffers from sickle cell anemia, a chronic, painful genetic disease.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick.
It's a very sharp stabbing pain, and it hurts a whole lot. Like from my chest all the way down, it hurts, including my side.
So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
When Kamala Harris was the California Attorney General, she had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
Wow.
I spent a majority of my time here at the hospital.
Kamala's horrible policies hurt mothers like me and the Black community. My name is Cherie Peoples, and this is my story. I am a single mother. I've worked as a certified nursing assistant and a caregiver. My daughter Shayla was born in 2002. When she was born, she was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia. It affects all major organs in the body and also causes extreme pain.
Dang.
Her whole life, she has been on medications like morphine and Dilaudid to help her control the pain. In addition, she had to undergo blood transfusions every 3 weeks. My lifestyle became taking care of her almost full time. It is pretty typical for kids with Shayla disability to miss a lot of school.
I just got out of school. I've done 3 full days this week. Oh, I'm so tired.
And for years, the teachers were aware of her condition and her absences were all excused.
Dang.
California schools get their state and federal funding based off of average daily attendance. Schools are paid about $30 per student per day.
In San Francisco, we threatened the parents of truants with prosecution.
I first heard of Kamala Harris when she got elected California Attorney General.
We are putting parents on notice. We are going to make sure that you face the full force and consequences of the law.
She wrote a report saying truancy was costing California schools $1.4 billion a year in funding.
Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding. I want money.
Sound like Mayor Tiffany.
Kamala then wrote a law making it criminal for parents if their kids miss school time. Kamala even wrote a book called Smart on Crime.
You can read an excerpt from the book that she just plugged shamelessly. It's called Smart on Crime.
Talking about arresting parents for truancy.
I sent a letter on my letterhead out to every parent in the public school system.
In 2012, like all California parents, I received a threatening letter from Kamala Harris saying we'll go to jail for a year if our kids even miss 10% of school days.
Wow.
It was like a crazy intimidation tactic.
I'm going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
I thought, wow, this woman doesn't have any empathy. Is it because she's not a mother? I also thought, how could she not understand it would disproportionately affect people of color, single black mothers? But honestly, I didn't imagine it could affect me. Her teachers had her medical records from the Children's Hospital. I even had a 504 plan, which was an agreement between the school district and the parents to provide care for students with disabilities.
Oh, wow.
It was April 18th, 2013, in the morning. I'm in my pajamas. I had just fed my daughter, gave her her medications, sent her off to school. Little did I know, there was a warrant out for my arrest.
Wow.
All of a sudden, the police is outside my house, and they started banging on the door. I opened up my door, and 2 officers entered my home. They told me I was under arrest for my child missing school. They said I was going to jail. I was shocked. I said, but my baby is sick. The school knows that. And they said, go talk to Kamala Harris. Place your hands behind your back.
My mom did nothing wrong. We did everything we were supposed to. I was always bringing doctor's notes, always calling the school to let them know that I was in the hospital.
Then they handcuff me. So they take me outside for what you call a perp walk. And oh my God, the TV news was there. The newspapers were there. You could swear I had killed somebody. It was degrading and humiliating. I was taken to the Criminal Justice Center. They took my mugshot. I was fingerprinted like a criminal, and I was terrified.
And it felt like I caused her so much pain. Because in reality, it is because of me, even though I know it's not directly my fault.
That's so sad.
Sorry.
The next day, the Orange County Register showed the pictures of my arrest. They even had a close-up picture of my hands in handcuffs to show here's a black mother being arrested.
It was a truancy rate at over 2.5 times that of white students.
Everyone knew most truant kids were black. I think Kamala Harris wanted me as an example to threaten other single black mothers, like, this can happen to you if you don't get your kids in class. The police even put out a press release naming me and other black single mothers like Toya Daniels, who got arrested the same day. But my hell was just beginning. They gave me 2 charges: failure to supervise and encourage school attendance, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. They framed my daughter as a gang member and basically charged me with neglect. I spent the next 2 years in court fighting these charges. Kamala assigned her nastiest prosecutors to my case.
My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
Like 10 different prosecutors. They kept pressuring me to plead guilty and spend a year in jail.
Wow.
But I kept refusing because I did nothing wrong. All the time I had to spend going to court, I was struggling to care for my Shayla. I lost my job and couldn't pay rent.
Wow.
And we got evicted.
Wow.
I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
And I ended up being in the hospital a lot during her trial. And in that hospital stay was when I had my stroke. I had a stroke about 4 or 5 days ago.
Man.
And right now I'm doing pretty good. My hand is doing okay, I guess.
In 2015, after 2 years, they finally just gave up and dismissed my case. In 2018, the Supreme Court of California ruled that truancy cannot be punished by incarceration. It was unconstitutional. The courts finally stopped Kamala Harris' abuses.
Wow.
When I look back, I ask, why did Kamala Harris
This is
arrest me?
rage-inducing.
Why was Kamala Harris so insensitive to a black woman with a handicapped child? Well, first, I learned that Kamala Harris has no common experience with black people. She grew up with an Indian mother. I remember she kept saying she was Indian.
To become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
What we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
And I learned she grew up in Canada, not in the United States, and went to a wealthy high school. I think in Canada, she must not have been exposed to American values, which respects the rights of individuals. When Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019, they asked her about arresting people like me, and she just lied her ass off.
The Truancy program got a lot of criticism too. Did you actually lock anybody up?
No, we never locked anybody up. We never sent a parent to jail. And no parent went to jail. And we did prosecute some cases, but far few, only about 20.
It's ironic because Kamala helped raise money to bail out murderers, rioters, and thieves. But she thought I belonged in jail because I had a handicapped child. To me, Kamala is fake. She just repeats stupid things like unburdened.
What can be unburdened by what has been? What can be unburdened by what has been? I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know?
I found out she only became Attorney General because she was a mistress to the married San Francisco Mayor, Willie Brown. And today I see she tries appealing to black audiences by putting on fake urban accents.
And we're gonna do it again in 2024.
Black people are very down to earth. This is insulting to us.
You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Kamala, how stupid do you think we are? And I saw Kamala's Twitter photo. That's from like 20 years ago. She's 60 years old today. Even with the heavy makeup, you can see she's 60. I seen her pretending to be talking on the phone, avoiding the press. She's a terrible actress. She was calling young people stupid.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
With Kamala, we can't even say Merry Christmas.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
The laugh is so insincere.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And yeah, I am radical.
All this woke and radical stuff doesn't do anything for me as a single black mother. All it got me was inflation that hurt me and my kids. Grocery store prices are crazy. I can't pay for food on my income.
I am in favor of saying that we're not going to treat people who are undocumented and cross the border as criminals.
Black people has been in America for 400 years, but Kamala pushes us to the back of the line behind illegals. Why? As borders are. She just filling up our schools with kids who don't speak English just so they can get more government money. Illegals get free health care, but I have to pay. They get free housing, and I'm struggling to pay rent.
Are undocumented immigrants that are the least likely to commit a crime.
And it's more dangerous in our neighborhood. We don't need Venezuelan gangs.
To this day, at 22 years old, I suffer from full paralysis on my right arm and partial in my right leg.
Wow.
Kamala Harris owes me an apology and my daughter an apology for what she did to us.
Let's be clear, my values have not changed.
Look, I am not a political person, but I want people to know what Kamala Harris has did to me. If she do it to me, she will abuse anyone if you give her the power.
I'm scared. She seems real Tiffany-like.
Wow.
Kamala seems a little Mayor Tiffany-like.
Yeah.
I don't know Mayor Tiffany. Look up the mayor of Dalton, Illinois.
Wow.
The give me my money
She said,
I'm
I'm radical.
speechless.
She said out her own mouth, I'm radical. What if there's a clip
speechless.
of Donald Trump saying,
That was
I'm
terrible.
radical? The world would be in flames. If there was a clip of Donald Trump saying, I am radical, the people on the left would be playing that clip over and over like they do to grab her by the,
That was terrible.
That's crazy.
I'm not
She
gonna
got
lie.
the
That was
lady
terrible.
evicted.
Her daughter had
no,
a stroke.
That
And
is
now she was
insane.
homeless.
That
Oh
is
my
that
gosh.
is outrageous.
That was horrible.
On the news, they gonna put you on the news and say, keep kids in school out of gangs with a picture of you.
For an example?
She had the paperwork. It's crazy to me that happened. She had the paperwork from the school. Like she had the paperwork from the school and all that. Like you did everything you were supposed to do, and you still get punished for it. Like she can't help the fact that her child is handicapped. Like that's crazy.
She didn't sue the city.
That's
I would've
crazy.
sued.
But it's like she
You
gotta
gotta
go
pay
to work.
for
She
that.
gotta
You
take
gotta
care.
pay
Yeah,
for it. She got all these other bills. All these other things. It's not even worth the hassle. You just fought a court case for
She was
4
in court
years.
for 2 years too. She didn't want to have to do that.
But you don't think like a law firm would pick that case up and just break
But
it
you still have to pay
free?
for it though.
Yeah.
Like my mom got a law firm. It was $100 to just get on the phone.
She said that the Supreme Court overturned that radicalized law, basically.
Yeah, they said that's
It's
unconstitutional.
That is insane.
It's insane that she claims to be for black people and pass a law that would disproportionately hurt black people because of the
Black women.
high
And she's
truancy rates.
So we know what demographic loves her the most.
Insane.
Charlamagne asked her, and she lied.
And she lied.
Man,
It don't matter, bro. It's about
actually,
Remember the kid yesterday? He said,
after
liars.
this,
He knew.
Kamala might got 100 lies plus, bro.
But
And they don't fact
She
check.
seems
No,
a little
no.
bit. Like, I'm not even one to say this typically, but she seems a bit psychopathic almost. Like with the laugh and then how fake she is. It's like she's acting.
I want
she
money.
seems like an actress. She really seems like an actress.
Hey man, that was definitely Tiffany activity.
No, that
That was
Yeah,
Tiffany.
that's
Tiffany. That was real
shit.
Tiffany. Like,
Wow, man, that just had me speechless.
now that was really
honestly.
sad too.
Wow.
Like, damn.
I'm
I'm
a-
glad these people got to share their story.
middle-aged child.
This might be the worst video I've ever seen, bro. On her.
Nah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wow.
This shows what her policies did to the specific demographic that is supposed to be helped the most by her.
What policy Trump's did that?
Yeah, man,
pass
have you-
or-
I ain't gonna lie, I'm
down.
very upset
That's a
after
great-
watching
Do
that.
you know one?
Nah,
It makes me more
you
upset.
thinking one. I really can't.
Have you
Because
heard of
the
one?
I'm very
immigrants-
upset after
immigrants
watching that.
Do 10 times worse than what this black mother. The black mother didn't do anything. She didn't do anything.
Took care of her child.
Like, and immigrants get taken out of prison for doing a crazy crime.
I didn't enjoy that video at all.
Wow.
Well, and in California, can't you still up to like $950 and not go to jail?
It's like a certain number of damage and
I
things
think
you
you
have
get
to
a
do.
ticket.
I heard it was $950 you could steal and not go to jail.
I heard
so
you just
if
get a
she
ticket
goes
for
to
stealing
jail for
anything.
that,
But that was a long
but
time
yeah,
ago.
you could steal $950 and get away with it.
That's crazy. Like when she was
And
in
they
a
got
position
homeless
of power, how radical she was with it.
Well, she's
Wow.
still in position of power.
And
You
we're
already
seeing,
see
yeah,
how
yeah.
radical she is. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
don't
wow,
matter,
hey.
bro.
She said, I'm radical. She told you.
After this video, I can't cut Joe Biden no more slack because he knew this shit.
He needed a
Can't cut him no more slack.
I don't cut him no slack.
He
I just
needed a
maybe
black woman to get some votes.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. If Joe Biden follow on a podcast, I feel like he might just really tell it all.
One day before he died, he gonna spill all the beans.
So I had to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I
This
had
is
to
the
do
real
it.
story.
Nah,
Wow.
he's
He basically did it on The View, though. But
he don't got
alleged.
he don't got another 10 left in him.
all right, guys, let us know in the comments what y'all think about this one.
Okay, let's stop the video. And I'm going to just give my little perspective on this. And as you can see, coming up was the town hall with Oprah. And I will talk about that briefly in this. And I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm just going to briefly speak about this because this was touching for me. And the reason I say that, my children were all born and raised in California. So I knew about this story. In fact, this lady, Sheree Peoples, didn't live too far from me where I lived in California. And this story was so touching to me because I could only imagine what would have happened to me had Kamala Harris been in office and had enacted this particular law when my son was 14 years of age and had cancer, because he missed pretty much an entire school year. And I may have been one of those Black women because I was a single parent at the time. And my son was diagnosed with a rare bone cancer at the age of 14. However, this was probably 15 years or so prior to Kamala Harris becoming the Attorney General in California. But this story was so touching because if she had been, my son could have been one of those victims. And that's why this story was so compelling and touching for me. And as you know, those of you who saw the town hall, Oprah did show some very compelling, emotional stories of a couple of women who had one mother's daughter had passed away, and due to something with her connected with an abortion, and the other one, young lady, also had a tragic story. I don't recall exactly what it was, but if you saw the town hall, you know exactly what I'm talking about with Oprah. However, this story was never shared on there, and of course, she wouldn't share this story of this lady, Miss Sheree Peoples, who happened to have a daughter that was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia. And if any of you know of anyone who suffers from this type of illness, you can understand and appreciate how excruciating it is for not for the child, let alone the parent having to go through it. And I know what it's like for trauma and for you to go through it with your child because of what I went through with my child. And I guess I might have been one of those people thrown in jail at the time. So you saw everything. I'm not going to go back through the video, but I did want to just elaborate on that because this was such a tragedy for not only Miss People, but for other parents in California who went through the same type of ordeal with being arrested and put in jail. And as you heard Kamala Harris tell Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club that no one was never arrested, and that is not true. And I speak more about what the Democratic Party is doing because traditionally we vote democratically as Black people. And that's why I share more because we already know where the Republicans are coming from. We know what Donald Trump did when he was in office. However, we do know that the Democrats were in office 12 of those 16 years. And where are we as Black people still? We've gone backward in many cases, collectively, I'm talking about. And I must say that we as Black people, we must unify and get on code because you can see the handwriting on the wall with, as far as I'm concerned, both politicians, Kamala Harris, your vice president, as well as Donald Trump, your former your former president, rather. And as you know, I haven't heard either one specifically address an agenda for empowerment of our people, Black people. And until I hear that, I will not give either one my vote. And I don't tell anybody who to vote for or anything. That's your personal business who you vote for. And as far as these entertainers out here, I don't listen to any of them because they're not my leaders. And I do my own due diligence. I think for myself. I use my brain that God has given me. And I always tell you about that scripture, 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And we need to use that power and use that love to come together. And of course, by all means, use that brain power, that sound mind. And with that said, I am Louise Hicks, the Mad Black Woman, motivated and determined. That's what the MAD is for, to support and help elevate my people to a higher level of consciousness. Because We definitely need it. And I have been on this planet for 73 years. I've seen a lot. I have witnessed a lot. I've endured a lot. And that is why I do what I do. And I speak up and speak out. And we need more of our people to hold each other accountable, to do our own due diligence, and be responsible as Black people. We must be responsible and accountable for our own actions, and we must take action in order to uplift and build our own community because nobody else is going to do it for us. So, with that said, again, I'm Louise Hicks. Please subscribe, share this video because as you can see, these gentlemen from the Cartier, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, family, Cartier family, really brought to us Miss Peoples. And I was going to share, and I had spoken with you about that some time ago. I was going to share with you her story. And I happened to see their video, and that's the one I decided to share. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for all of your love and support. Thank you for all of my new subscribers. Please continue to share. Please subscribe because this is an important election and it's your decision who you vote for and whether you choose to vote. It is your decision. And with that said again, I am Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose Spiritual Empowerment Hour. Subscribe, 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 share, 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 leave your comments and give it a like. And always remember, your power lies within you. Let it loose because your destiny is your command. And until next time, much love.